Hey cuties, what's up? We're back with some more of the daily N.O.D.E, and today we're going to be doing a scroll. I think, obviously, I'm just going to try to get straight into it. Try to do this as fast as possible. I don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing, but we can. Well, let's actually do this object or edit this. We can go in there, change this to 90. Scale this on the X. I'm just gonna fully scale it down. Scale it back up again. Well, not scale it back up. I wanted to scale that way and back down. So it's probably fine. Probably didn't need to go that small, but oh well. Just move this up here. The proportional editing is on. Origin geometry. What happened there? Okay, it went again stuck there. I think maybe what you call it? The VTuber is messing up today. It's using more power than it should be. I might have to turn it off and turn it back on because Blender seems to be lagging. We can just add maybe an ICO. And that's fine. I'm just gonna move it over here. And I'll modify this later. So is that too big? I think that's fine. We should shade it smooth off. Well, I probably should have grabbed that and inserted faces into it. I technically don't need to. You mirror on that. I technically don't need to do anything fancy here. Now, I want to use a regular path, but I don't think it works right. I might need to use a Bezier. Bezier. We can try a path for now. It does need to be rotated outside of editing because it won't let me otherwise. -90. But then I just want to see something, so I'm going to take this and I kind of need to hide the spheres. I'm going to take this. Needs to be scaled down. Take this and put it here. Right? But then you start taking everything and doing this, perhaps? So the curve is not how I want all the proportionals turned on. How I want it. We have to do that. And then just start getting in there and moving it around, right? I don't know why it had such a effect on the back there. Oh, I shouldn't be going so far out because I'm not thinking about the fact that this doesn't need to be so far. I'm paying attention to the outside lines when I shouldn't be. I just need to see the black inside. And you to there. Do we just start just putting them in the same spots and hope that makes roughly the same shape? It's not technically, or is it just the orange being there, the orange lines just really throws things off, right? It's hard to tell what's what. I might need to lower this again. Can I? Yeah, I need to get it even closer, like tighter into there. So we're just gonna do the try and squeeze this in tighter. Need that one, and then that. Be a little bit further in. That's fine. So it just ends up looking like I need to add more and more. There. Because like sometimes I just have to like stop abruptly because it's not working right. How many revolutions do I want on this? Question mark. I think this even works anyways because it might not work the way I would want to. Because I'm going to extrude this out at some point. I think this is enough. I won't be able to see anything if I turn that off. Yeah, this is too close. And like, where do I want the end to be for this? Like up front, like there, and I'll just have this going up like that. Maybe try and curve this around like so. So I have that like that. Now we want it to look like that because if I come over here, geometry, we can extrude out, which is going to cause... Okay, so does not work how I would want. Redo. I was hoping it would just be flat lines, but no. Not extrude. We don't want to do this. We want to extrude here. My bad. Click the wrong thing. Yeah, it's facing the wrong ways. This Control T. $90. So now that's just a bunch of rolls in that direction. And then you just go and keep increasing the extrusion out to like there. Question mark. So I was like, would you want this to be bigger than that is a problem? I probably will extrude this. That's not going to extrude, but solidify this. That's what I was going to say. I think I should make it bigger. So we're going to go for another revolution here. I have to like start doing stuff like that. That kind of just gets annoying having to stick this stuff so far out. Because if you do that, then you can come around to get a really good cut. You're losing control, though, how much control you have over things. So probably really shouldn't be doing that. It should be way closer than that as well. It just gets confusing with the actual orange lines. You don't want to be looking at the orange lines. You need to see the black lines underneath. That's what it actually would be looking like, not the orange. This is not good. This needs to be moved. And this is actually too low, or too high, I mean. Because scrolls are like usually pretty thick. It's just doing this for an extended period of time is tedious for the sake of tedium, right? There probably is a way to just automatically do this, but I don't know. Probably you gotta keep going. I'll give it one more. That's all you're gonna get out of me, one more. Gotta stop pulling that so far out like that. Don't want it to do that. Actually, that one pretty quickly. Question mark. Maybe we go for one more. You get one more, because I did that very quickly. I got the hang of it. Of speeding up for this. But some of these are a bit too close though, and some of them are too far. Alright, so then there, then we're gonna come up here and do something like this. I'm gonna leave some space in between here so that if I solidify this, it will not be a problem. So now we have our spin around it. It actually looks interesting, just a black line like that. This was at 0.52 is what I remember putting in here, so 0.52. So there we go, we have that. I'm assuming this is probably backwards, right? Yeah. I would have to flip the faces once I've turned it into a mesh, I think. And I don't know what the resolution on this, if I change this, will that do anything? Yes, it did. I think that's exact measurements of where I have the lines placed. Probably want it to be slightly higher than that. I think that's okay. Also, that needs to not be like that. It needs to be different. By different, I mean this needs to be... why can't I see the... I was why can't I see that anymore? This needs to be round for another pole. I don't know how I forgot to do that. You want this to be enlarged like that, so you can have a second one there. Question mark. I think that's fine, right? Then we can do this now. 52. Maybe just a 50. Because I can change the width of that at whenever I want to. Is that clipping through that? Yeah, this here at the beginning is clipping through. Doing this might... Okay, I was gonna say doing that might ruin the entire object, but no, it's fine. And then that, if I go backwards, no, there. I just want to connect that to that like that. There we go. 0.5. No, that just slides into that. Then I guess we're done, though I probably should just have a poll in there preemptively, but I think I'm good. So let's just go ahead and possibly convert to mesh. I don't think this is even sliced in the middle, is it? Oh no, it has points in the middle, it looks like, or does it? If I slice this, will it? No. There, now it's sliced in the middle. And then I'll just give that a couple slices. Maybe 7 for the sake of it. I also need to take everything. Oh, what? Not that. It's so weird that it looks like that. Oh, because I didn't click on the right thing. Not sculpt. Edit this. Mesh. Normals flip. Let's look at those normals. Alright, they're inside like they should be, but then we will come in here and generate a solidify. That's going to do a lot. By a lot, it's going to mess stuff up. So it needs to be like a 0, 0, 0. Like a very low number. Okay, we can actually see that now. 5. More than that. 7. Yeah, so some of this line here kind of got goofy, unfortunately. Let's just add a 1 to that, so this connects with itself. I don't like that that is like that, but I don't know if I can fix that. We have a point there. I'm just adding stuff. Whoops. I was like accidentally cutting that. This proportion adding with connected only, and then try and just drag along, though that did not work at all. Question mark. Oh, well, first off, I probably should be grabbing the entire thing, not just that one spot. So I need to get in and like try to hit the whole line. Hopefully that's the whole thing. Yeah, that looks like that's the whole line. So the whole line grabs now. That's a can I move that? Whoops. And then just lower this. So that can just like slightly move that up. Probably should just do the same thing here. So it's unfortunate I have to constantly back out if I want to grab this whole segment. There we go. Then we gotta back out again. But I can grab this whole line here. And let's just move that up a bit. So it's not too messy there. That's fine. I can go even higher. It's like, do I want to, though? It's like Z fighting now. Which I'm like fine with it being like that. Thing is though, do I want to take this centerpiece and scale in? Scale on the Z and the Y? Yeah. Like, do I, oops, I didn't mean that. Scale Z, scale on the Z and Y. Do I want to do that, you know, because we're going to be possibly tightening the center? Scale on the Z and Y. And I'm just like increasing that part. Like that. And with this we can just scale on the X down to there and then just turn these back on and move them over. Could even just like increase the scale just for the sake of it, and even have it like clipping through that possibly, just to hide the ends there. I don't know. So that does bend this, right? I don't know if I like that. Because now that that centerpiece is bent, I can't get a tube through it. Add a cylinder. And rotate this 90 degree. What did I put? No, 90 degrees. And just scale that down until it is the correct size for that. It's gonna scale it up to where it needs to be, and then I'm gonna look at it like this and then scale it down until it fits in there, and we can just move it into place. That's probably fun. Then scale on the X. And we'll grab the side faces, we'll insert face as usual, just to sharpen that up. Then we can take this and duplicate it and have it be with that cylinder instead. And then we can just move it into position here, just shrink it down. Again, possibly even do that. This seems like that's okay. But I do want to shrink that down. Alright, I think we're like good on that. With this stuff, you know, you can just be like gems, generic gem, which is what I'm using. Like why I'm using Icosphere. So gem, scroll, gem, and you can be red. roughness, transmission, sub, screen space reflections. I mean, that should be fine, and that's on that one. Same thing with you. Scroll that. The cylinder, though, I don't know if this would be metal or not, so new. Metallic, 0.1. Scroll, metal. Then we need to use it on you as well for now. And this needs scroll. And what I need you to be around here, like a yellowy color, the roughness maybe like a 0.6. And then I need to actually just get in there and apply some nonsense to this. I also probably should also take this and edit it and grab everything and then insert face, so I can just get insert like faces on the edge and just sharpen the edge there. I think should still be fine even if I turn that off. I'll just drop this down to that just to be safe with that. And maybe I will actually extend the poles out before we do that, just so you can see them. So I think all I need to do for this is just actually just pull that away. But for the other one, I need to actually increase its size. Oh, I don't think I have the shaded smooth. Whoops. Shade smooth on you too. I'll lower that a little bit. I want to be able to see the metal there. Now back to shading on this. I can't tell the can't tell that this is slightly yellow, so I need to give it a little bit more of a yellow kick. There we go. And I just want to add some like texture, but let's do something weird. I'm going to take this, duplicate that. Probably should have finished constructing it first. Color ramp. Color ramp. We need to plug these into each other. Mix color. Like that. UV is actually fine because it should be perfectly UV edited from being a curve before becoming a mesh. Okay, so we have lines like that. Will this change anything? Okay, Z does change. So we want this to be like a 45. And U? Why can't I see the O? Because it's not both. It's at the color multiply. I need this to be the opposite of that, which is going to be what? 135? Question mark? 135 does seem to be the correct answer. So yeah, 135. But I think I need a value. I need to add it from out here. Value. It's at the 5 right now, so set you to 5. Set into the scale for that, and the scale for this. I can scale them at the same time. I don't know if I want this to be thicker or not. Probably fine as is. This is basically 100, so I'll just send it to 100. And then what I'm going to do with that is plug it over here into a bump. 0.1. Plug that in. What does invert look like? I think I may prefer inverted. So I'm just gonna have that like the, I don't know if I want the strength up, like you don't want that to be too high. That's actually perfectly fine. I feel like this metal needs to not be so shiny. It needs to reduce the shine even further. We can maybe even have these inserted into that, so I might want to grab both of them. I'm going to grab this and this. And scale them on the X a bit. And then that lets me push that in and that in. So it's like slightly clipping through, like decently clipping through. And then you can see that through the object. I think not having rope on the middle does cause a lot of damage to not knowing what you're looking at. So I think we're kind of forced into making rope for the 1000th time. Object edit this, just scale everything down. I can't see the placements of this, unfortunately. There and there, right? Oops, that did not work out. Did I really? Oh, I turned everything around. That should be okay. I'm probably gonna have to shrink it eventually because it's too much, but you've already seen this song and dance, right? I'm gonna add an empty ahead of time. Add, generate an array. Turn that off. It needs to be set to 4 objects. It needs to be the empty. Take the empty and rotate it 90 degrees. That gives us this. Then we need to apply a screw after that. So generate or screw. And increase the height. I'll go like to about there. Of course, it needs to be shrunk down. So scale it down, then Control A, right? Yeah. Reduce the iteration. Scale it down again, Control A. This size is probably fine. Though, the size of that, like the screw, isn't a problem. Like 0.5, is that acceptable? Oh, you can. Okay, good. Because, like, why is it like that otherwise? You need to be like a 8 instead. Yeah, an 8.08. Then we need to come over here to array. Not array. We need to just. What do we need to do? This. Yeah, I need to lower that down because it's doing too much. Turn that to an 8, I guess. Do we need to apply this to a curve? Then we need to get our curve on. So curve. Again, I like using path, so we're going to use path. I'm going to rotate that path preemptively. -90. I'm going to apply the rotation I just did. And then go ahead and start scaling it down and moving it into place. Now we need to come over to this and apply it to this curve. Find the right thing. It appears to be Z is the proper placement. Go ahead and edit this. Get that into place. Does seem a bit big though. So let me just grab this and scale it again. Control A and then scale. .7, I guess. And back to this then. Edit. Need to get this to be curved around that. Granted, not really. What we need is this, which is difficult because you can't have one end of this be a certain way. So this needs to just be its max size from the get-go. So let's assume that's going to be here. So let's assume that's going to be that much. And then we need to do the opposite here, and then I'm going to subdivide that. And then we need to like just move this stuff into place and just hope that we have enough. So first off, this needs to be like that, right? One side one way, one side the other. And then this one could be raised up, this one can be raised down. And then this would be like that. Like trying to tie a knot in 3D is probably one of the most difficult things you could possibly try to do. It's like really annoying if that wasn't obvious of what I'm trying to do. It is not easy. Okay, so that's doing that. So, I mean, that has to go underneath that and then around. Obviously, if you don't have anything around that you can use to try to figure out how to do that, it doesn't help either. Is it trying to just do it from memory? Does it work? Right? So, I mean, you need to put them into an X shape first, and then loop one underneath while it's in that X shape. But yeah, it's like just so difficult to try to do this in 3D. So we have our X, so let's just like that, and then let me just pull this back this way. Yeah, under and over. I've tried to do this before, and it's just, I feel like it's just not really worth your time trying to have a like realistic knot like this. Like most of my time is going to be spent doing this and not actually anything else. Like I'm already done with the scroll technically, right? Like do I just want to just have it tied around like that and then possibly let me just do that because I think it'd be easier if I didn't have things to be dragging around all the time. So like that, and then I think I need to increase this so I can see what I'm looking at. Where is the path? I don't know where it is. I am gonna guess it's this one. It's not showing me. Yeah. Yeah, we want to move this a little bit over, I think. That needs to be pulled up. That can be like that. So then we can just have this loop down, but then it's like, do you really want to do it? This needs to be looped under this as well. I think, right? Like, and not just this underneath that by itself, but this should be underneath as well. Which then becomes a problem because this needs to be a certain way, which means I need to constantly be trying to kind of extrude into this. No, it just adds that. Which then requires you to like fix it. I don't want to break that. So I'm just gonna subdivide 100 times here. By 100 I mean a few. And then take that, bring it down. Take this and bring it down. Take that and bring it around. And we gotta lift this up a lot, actually, because we need to get this loop to go through there and like fit into here, question mark, and pull that up. So now that's looped around that. Also, this looks like that just because I don't have any more pieces. Once I add more subdivisions, it'll fill out. Okay, so that is like looped around itself. Question mark. Yeah, that is knotted around itself. But then you would take this. Oh god, this is going to be so annoying. We could already stop now, but I'm going to try and do the impossible. I'm going to take this and create a loop with it, right? So pull me back. This is fine, doesn't really matter too much. So create a loop there. But then that means this part needs to be looped as well. just one long line here. It is. Subdivide that a billion times. Which then with this, we could pull that back. This needs to go up, and then over here. Now. It's this. We need you. Probably need to bring this up like that. Then pull this down and around. Just keep taking that. We do need to make this say loop at some point. I forget where. So it's like that and then that. So actually maybe I don't want to do that. I should have done something else first. I should have turned it into a loop and then made that or go around that. Like this needs to be its own loop. The thing is, like, I have to, like, you know, create a loop here, right? Might as well just move all this down here now. You know, I have to create a loop here, but then I also have to have it go around that as well. So I need this loop over here and then that loop over there, I think, because you're tying the two around each other. You could just try to get away with not doing that, though. Because we could just have, like I said, this loop here. Just add some extra depth to this real quick. Could have this loop here. I'm just gonna try to pull that back. The annoyance of having to do this. Pull you back, and then back. Then what you need to do is maybe have like this needs to be side by side with this at the same time, I think. Which might be like really difficult to do. This probably looks really dumb, like just trying to make a knot. If I grab all of this and then move it here, like around there, I might just have to do like a lot of weird movements like this. Turn proportional and like just literally move stuff around. As if I'm tying it. So then back around here. Needs to be pulled out because we need more room. Then bending it this way, then around. Just gotta continue just pulling on it. And then bring me around and around, and it's gone too far down now, and do that and that. I mean, that's not really like tying anything though. It's a problem. I don't know where the pieces are anymore. I think just here is one, obviously, but where is this It's you. Okay. We can pull that around. But where should that be, though? I guess like that. And then I need to find the next part. It's there, and then pull this out like that. This is just like a mess right now. Just move this out of the way. Proportional probably needs to be turned off so I can stop moving everything together. So that's like looped around that now. Let's just increase that and that. And like I guess just move this stuff into place there. There's a huge empty spot here, so I think I'll just like loop that underneath that and call it a day. So let's get you into there and pull this to about there, and then that. Gonna subdivide that and this a couple times there. I will be taking this again though. Maybe need to scooch that together. I will be taking this and trying to move it over there. So we're going to take that, probably get rid of you, and do this. Like that, and then we need to just adjust everything so it doesn't look stupid. So these two things are going not okay. You need to go up actually. This can be moved in. I need to actually subdivide that. This can be going down. That needs to move slightly up. You can move back up. This can be moved up. A lot of this stuff needs to be heavily adjusted. Subdivide that. Gonna have a little bit more play with that. Just move this over. Portion needs to be turned off. I need to stop doing that. Stop leaving it on when I don't need it. I'll just move that down like that. I'll just even try to like scoot it in there if I can. So I got this huge knot here. Let's move you to here. We can move that out, but we do want to like just scooch this in to. There's like just a mess of like orange lines, which is hard to like find all the spots you should be trying to move around. This though needs to be squished in. It's not squished in enough. that's probably okay. I'll take the top of this and move it over here. Can maybe try to start moving this around. So that's up there. This needs to be moved down, I guess. And then we could leave you there and take this and rotate it up. Do I want proportional one? We don't need it. And just move this up like that. Just like straighten out the part below. Move that down a bit maybe. Then we can take this and move this back down actually. Tighten that up so it's not too loose looking. Just gonna move this up. Need you to stop being like that. I'm just gonna take this and bend it backwards. And this isn't as close as it should be. This should be like really close to that. And then that should be really close to that. We can bring you down. This needs to be down and closer in, I think. And then I need to add more things to that. I need to back out and remove segments from this. Okay, that's actually fine. Because it being there means I can just add a little bit extra at the end. I'll take that, just move it up, rotate it even. I think that looks okay. Maybe just take this and pull it out a little bit. It's not clipping to that too much. I do want this to be down though. So probably not the greatest loop, but I actually think it is coherent, question mark, to actually being a knot. Like, I don't really know, but I think it is anyways. And we need to add caps to the rope, so let's get in there and do that. It's been an hour. I was hoping this wouldn't take it that long, but it has. And it's mainly just because of the, whoops, the rope, right? It's the rope's fault. Probably slightly bigger than... I'll actually just bevel this, I think. I'll probably even like bevel the bottom as well. it should be bigger than that. Probably was fine where it is, where it was. Shade smooth, and then we can duplicate you before I commit to this. So find the way that should be facing, and then try and implant it onto that. I think it should be here, and then just move that into that, and then no, it's slightly off. I should like do it like bit by bit. It's actually not terrible. And then same thing for the other one. Probably should have made it easier on myself to put these on, but oh well. I think that's good, right? Seems fine to me. And this can just have metal. This needs to have its own thing, though. So with this, you need to be somewhere in here. Ooh, that's actually a good color. That's like perfect. This needs to be like really, really high. Voronoi. UV's fine. Color ramp. Bump. Plug that in. Then scale this up so I can see. That's fine. It being like that. Just need to 0.2. Maybe that's fine. You can maybe go higher. It's like a 75. And just live with that. I want to come back here and see something. If I put this to a 70, just to be able to see it better. So yeah, there we go. We have scrolls. Again, I don't know if I should make this extended further out. I think I should. Like this and that. Scale on the X. And take both of these and have them like decently moved up. So I guess you can put this like there. Like halfway. Halfway through. But you can't really see this now, so I probably shouldn't do that. This should maybe actually be there. Scale on the X down to halfway. But then the like main one should be pretty far out, question mark. That's like a weird scroll and it doesn't look that great, but oh well, right? I guess you could fake it. Like if I destroy the cylinder on the inside. Scroll, because I need this stuff to be named. Gem 2. That's the path. Empty. nub. Nub on that. You like if I delete this, I just keep the. Okay, well, fortune's geometry, scale, rotation. There we go. If I keep the orb like really close to this, to where you can't really tell, right? That would allow me to come into here and edit this. It's proportional editing. And, you know, take the edges again. That's weird that grabbing that grabs both sides. Oh, weird. Anyways, we scale that again on the Z and Y upwards, right? Okay, so that's doing something weird. I don't know what it is grabbing. It's not grabbing the right thing though. Because I was wondering why doing that grabs the other side at the same time. That doesn't make any sense that it does that. See, like, what's happening here? Like, why is that doing that? Is it just that? Is it just that? Which is no big deal. Let me just also grab this. It's just weird that that grabs both sides like that. And the center here, let me just remove that. Okay, that should have gotten rid of that, so it stops doing that. Scale on the X and Y. And we can do something like that, right? Even though that messes up the pole on the inside, it no longer works anymore. But that gives you your typical scroll look, right? It doesn't look any better though. Mainly just because of how that looks. Scale the just like wanna do that? Question mark? Just go crazy with it? This probably needs to be sharp as well. Like, does that look like a scroll? I guess it does. It's just the fact that the inside doesn't work anymore. Scale. See, next we have it set to sharp now. Yeah, now it's giving us the proper look to that. And it does look like a scroll. It's just the fact that this is wonked out now. Yeah, I do like the way that looks, but I don't know. I think this is fine. Probably just because that's too big, or these are too small. Having that doesn't help too much, like changing the color. Might not want them to be that at all. Might want them to just be metal for that part, anyways. Yeah, now I'm kind of just stumped here. I'll have this turned off. No, it's not. It's turned on. Wait, do I just want to leave it like this, or Or what? I don't know. It's already been an hour, right? So maybe we should just like wrap it up and just like live with what we have. Instead of trying to do more. Right? Let's go ahead and apply. I don't know what it. Cannot apply control modifiers. Convert curve to mesh in order to apply. Do I have to go from the back? No, I'm confused as to why I can't. You always go down from the top to bottom, so that's weird. Okay, never mind. I just had to convert it that. And I was just being dumb. Does not have middle on it. No, I forgot to put the middle on this. Whoops. You can be parented to that. This can be parented to the scroll. Everything else can be parented to the scroll. Get rid of that empty. The cylinder needs to be parented to the scroll. So now when I move the scroll around, it has everything that I needed to have. Go to the camera and zoom this. Whoops, did not want to do that. Zoom this in. Kind of hard to do that. Let's see what we can get away with. Just spin this around. Need to like move it closer to the camera. Select hierarchy and duplicate that. Let's get another scroll. Cause this one's like really close. For whatever reason. Like really close to the camera. I'm gonna move you down here. Spin that around. So I'm just selecting like everything and then duplicating it. That's what's happening there if that wasn't obvious. That. I still need to move this even closer, but it's like not wanting to get closer to the camera like I needed to. Do I want just like a handful of scrolls just on the screen like this, or do I want first have done that? Or do I want to have them like lined up next to each other? I don't know. So we're not really doing much with this, right? So I don't know if we just want a bunch of them, just single file. single file-ish on this screen. Duplicate that. Don't want to move everything, you just want to move just the one. The things are like so big at this range that you can't really have them too close to each other. Too close to the camera is what I was trying to say, actually. It's actually slowing my computer down, moving these around now. It's actually doing too much damage. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like them just being laid out like this. As like just like a concept, like, hey, look at the bunch of scrolls. I might just delete all this, pause the video, and then come back and try to like figure out how I want them to look in the screenshot, and then come back. There's no reason for me to be doing this on camera, right? So I'm gonna cut and be right back. Alright, I kind of changed my mind. I think I want this to be middle, question mark. So it needs to be not that shiny. Right, so actually what I need to do is come over here and add a little bit of extra kick to that, which you've done a few times, right? Like it might be kind of hard to do, question mark. I just come into here and like copy this, because they're just gonna be using that just in a different way. So do that. I kind of like that though. Screen, perhaps. I forget, it's this, like this into another one, right? It's not just that into that. You want that, but then you want to go again, and you want to screen, or maybe like this should be Muzz, but we'll do that for now. And scale, distortion. So what does multiply do with this? Nothing, say have that up, so that, and then this down. Forget how to do this. I do it like 100 times and I just end up not knowing what to do. Question mark. Lower this down. Like I don't know how I can like do it over and over again and then just still like never know how I end up making the weird shapes. And shapes like the scars or whatever. Like it should be so easy though, right? But it never is. No matter how many times I do it, I still just like never know what I'm doing. We have all this, like this crossing against itself, but then we want to remove this from that. Like maybe if I delete this and then grab that, actually plug that into there. So if I do that, that is that, but we still need that to be more crazy. Can maybe just remove one side and then like another. Can like lower this. There. So you have to double crosshatch into itself. You have to crosshatch, then crosshatch, and then combine your crosshatches into each other. And then play around with their multiplication with this, and then you'll get scratches. Randomly generated scratches like that. Which is all I was like trying to aim for there, so yeah, we got that. Then I don't know what I want to do. We probably can come over here and just scooch this in. It doesn't have to stick out anymore because it's what you call it. What we could do is take this, push it pretty far in there, because we're going to take the scroll and edit it. And I guess like do this and that. Then scale Z and Y. And then, you know, pull that up. Well, it needs to not be like that. Pull that up so that it does that, but we need to like scale Z and Y until the center kind of sits around the orb decently enough. Like that. Then take this and slide it around. I think it needs to be over a little bit. And then up maybe. And in perhaps. And we need to take this and get it into position as well. So there. And just push that into there. Try to get it to fit in there. Increase its size a little bit. As you move it around to like wiggle it in there. Just to give it more of the scroll shape that we want. And there we go. Like maybe I want to like chill on the cross hatching here. By chill I mean put this back to 100. So that can be not so much 0.1. So there we go. Scroll slightly modified. But now it's just the issue of figuring out how I want this to be looked at in the camera. Because I don't know. The camera's not straight either. Oh, that's not on the right thing. Whoops. It's supposed to be the camera. Is this scroll not straight in the middle of the thing? It was nuts. But yeah, like, how do I want this to be screenshotted? Question mark. Because that's the area there. It's just like a scroll just doesn't look like anything. It's probably like even if I rotate it around, like maybe like that, that's okay. Like that's an okay shot if I could, what you call it? It just doesn't look very big. I guess I can increase the scale just to fix it, but because you want to be able to see the loops, right? So that, I mean, that's a pretty good shot there. For my render, it's not going to look like anything, but oops, didn't mean to do that. Select hierarchy first, then you can copy and then move it around. What you could do is this, and just have two of them, have one just sitting underneath the other one. And just cross it out like that. Like it's like some crossbones. Just keep trying to fit that in there so it fits in the camera view. I don't know. So you kind of need to be like this when you scale it down, because it's just not fitting how I'd want it to. You can't see the rope. That's fine. Select hierarchy, dupe that, and then possibly move this down here, and then we can just have it like this. So shrinking it down so I can move it around better. I move it upside down like that. That's okay, right? And could you have like another scroll underneath that one, and then we'd be pretty good? Maybe. Select hierarchy, duplicate, and then I need to push it back on the Y. Then that, and then rotate like that, and then move it over. Just wish I could move the what you call this, you could see it better, but that's okay. And if I could just move it back and then move it down, and I could scale it up to get it to be how I want it to. Because then I can just move this around however I want and just keep scaling it, and you can see the loops. I think that's okay. Question mark. For the thumbnail, question mark. I need this. Move that up there. Scooch in a bit. And coding keeps dying every time I move this around, because apparently it can't handle just looking at this. Like, this is too much for it. And even though I like this color, do we want to like just drop it a bit? I think that's too much. I don't know what it's doing, but whatever it's doing, it's slowing things down. I need to be able to see, though, more color. I'll undo that. Like maybe more color and then bring it down this way. I don't know if like more color or less is okay. I mean, this is fine, right? Just to make the rope stand out a bit better. Then maybe we can increase this as well to a 0.4. We can stop playing around with this. Like we've been doing this for too long. Let's go ahead and save that. Hey cuties, thanks for watching. Remember to buy my stickers, think about becoming a member, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, because we're working on watch time and subscribers, and don't forget we have a throne now as well, and shout out the members, EmmyStarr, RaleyDrew, and Alexgkiller 880. Hey cuties, thanks for watching. Tune into the next episode. Like, subscribe, hype, and comments. You know what to do. See ya.